What is up? What is going on, all good people out there? Today we are bringing you another awesome podcast here, the JayNAS Podcast system right here tonight, where you'll get all your latest news, information on PC, console and retro expertise gaming. And of course, as usual, I am joined by no other than the one and the only retro expert himself, Jason616, mate. Welcome back again to another awesome... Hey, buddy. Welcome back to another podcast, mate. Cheers, exciting stuff to get some stuff. We got some nice juicy topics to talk about tonight, mate. So, mate, I'm keen to get us into it, mate. I'm keen to get us started.
Yeah, I've got quite a bit of stuff to go through this week. It's been a busy week from my end. And some stuff that's flown under the radar. I did some digging and found some cool things that aren't out there in the news of I guess Nintendo at the moment. There's some underground stuff going on that's not been really displayed in public eye that I've found. So let's see what happens there.
Nice. I like it. Juicy underground stuff that we're not supposed to know. I like it. I like it indeed. You heard it first here on a JayNAS podcast. So, well, mate, what I'm talking about tonight is I've got what have I got? Well, I've got three mains. No, I've got four mains. Honourable mention, and of course, do you feel old? So I'm going to be talking about Rage 2, which is a really exciting topic. I'm looking forward to talking about the World of Warcraft classic remake, which I have a quick chat about. My probably most excited segment that I'm going to be talking about tonight is Last of Us 2. And as I said, honourable mention, and some more E3 updates as well, which I'm excited to announce. And of course, do you feel old yet? Will be a really juicy one as well. So again, as I said, I hope you're feeling young today, mate, because you're going to feel old soon. So, mate, what have you got for us tonight, buddy?
Well, okay, so you mentioned E3. So I've got a few things that we mentioned last week, and funny enough, we spoke about The Last of Us as well, so it's funny you're talking about that. I had a look after our conversation about E3, and I found some good news, and I found some, unfortunately, bad news in regards to some of it. Other than that, so there's some forgotten gaming series from Nintendo that might be getting some reprises, so that should be fun. The announcement of a new Mortal Kombat movie. So there is some Nintendo Switch news about Super Mario Maker 2 and some games that have also been recreated in Unreal Engine 4 now. Some old school games that we spoke about, Star Wars Pod Racer and Legend of Zelda before, but there is a few more that have been recreated and they look damn cool. So, and obviously, today in gaming as well, I've got something quite surprising there. So, yeah, that's what I've got up my sleeve.
Very nice indeed, mate. I'm looking forward to it. All right, everybody, I hope you have got your eardrums in fine tune, because they are about to explode with all the latest awesome news right here on JayNAS Podcast. Let us begin. So, guys, I'll start off, if you don't mind, Jason.
Yeah,
I'll
man.
start off, yeah?
Throw it to you.
Sounds good, mate. So, Rage 2. So, big congratulations, of course, to Avalanche Studios and id Software, and, of course, published by Bethesda Studios. They released the highly anticipated Rage 2 just a couple of days ago. I'm very excited to jump into it myself. I'll be getting it myself for the next week or two. Get my greasy little mitts on it and get in there. So, quite anticipated game. So a lot of people weren't sure how it was going to go because it has the Bethesda Softworks. Bethesda has their little hands on it now. Bethesda Softworks is different to Bethesda. So Bethesda Softworks are just publishers. Of course, Bethesda are the developers. So, but Bethesda didn't develop this; they just published it. So, so it seems to been they've had quite a lot of sales, and it seems to have some quite positive reviews, which is great. It's an open world first person shooter, physics based combat game. A lot of people have said that it's a lot like Doom meets Mad Max, which looks and sounds about right, which is pretty cool. The dialogue and the voice acting crafting in it is pretty awesome, pretty second to none apparently. Hundreds of different guns. Apparently this game has the most guns of any kind of first-person shooter of its kind, but I don't know that for sure. I'll have to see that for myself. Including the classic BFG 9000. So for those out there who aren't aware, the BFG 9000 is the biggest gun you can get in the game in the classic Doom series. It's a quick quiz for you, mate. Do you remember what BFG stands for?
Oh, put me on the spot. The Big Friendly Giant. No, that's... no, go for it.
You know, always Roald Dahl.
Yeah, Roald Dahl. No, I don't remember.
Can't remember?
Nah.
So BFG used to stand for Big Fucking Gun.
That's right, it did.
Yeah, so the Big Fucking Gun 9000 is in Rage 2 apparently.
Oh, hell yeah.
So yeah, man, really cool. It looks great. I've seen some footage on it. It looks great. I've seen some really funny like voiceovers by here in Australia. We've got what's his name? Oh God, I can't remember. I've just got a brain dead moment then. No, I can't forget it. Don't worry about it. Crap, forget it. But no, I've seen some really funny trailers and all that sort of stuff. The reviews are looking pretty good. Look, 6 out of 10 on Steam, which is a bit less than what I expected. But at the same time, this is Steam. That's probably, again, just a bit of negativity because it's to do with Bethesda and all this sort of stuff. But look, 70% on Metacritic. IGN gave it an 8 out of 10 and 88% on Google rating. So, mate, the game is a good solid 7.5-ish. In my opinion, which is a really good start for a game, you know. So, and of course, on top of that, there was some questions asked about microtransactions, all that sort of stuff. Now, the director of the game basically says that they're unsure of microtransactions revenue at the moment, and at the moment there is no online. With Rage, so there's no multiplayer, there's no co-op, there's no team deathmatches or anything like that. But he says it's not traditional. There is online multiplayer, but it's not the online multiplayer that we know it. It's a social compound that is implemented into the game, but it's not your typical multiplayer. So the way I see that, the way I think it is I don't know if you've ever played like Burnout Paradise or anything like that.
I've never been a car racing guy.
No, fair enough. I've sort of been the same. The reason why I liked Burnout was because I'm not much of a car guy. You know, I don't really like car games where they're too real. You know what I mean? I like the ones where you're supposed to go around and smash into other cars and all that sort of stuff. So, Burnout was like that. I liked Burnout Takedown and Burnout Paradise City. They were great. And in Paradise City, that was like that. It was a social compound. So basically, there were certain parts of the track where you could time trial it and you can try and beat it, and you're real timing it. It would get updated all the time. People would beat those times, and it would display the gamer tag, what time they did it, and all that sort of stuff, and blah 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 blah. You can try and beat it. There are jumps to see how high you can jump, see how far you can jump, and all this sort of stuff. So I think Rage 2 would be something like that. I reckon there might be certain parts of the map where there could be waves and waves of enemies, and you got to kill them all. There are vehicles in the game, so maybe you got to go from point A to point B. Maybe you got to go from point A to point B and blow up things on the way as well, and you got to do it in the quickest amount of time, or blow up a certain amount. I don't know. And then of course it would be updated. So, and I think Social Compound, it wouldn't be like a leaderboard because leaderboard is different to Social Compound. Social Compound, it would be constantly displayed, so you could be just driving along. And then you'll see just gamer tags just turn up. This was like on Burnout. You'll just be driving along a road, and all of a sudden there's a gamer tag that you've just driven past. It's like a display sign. Yeah. There's such and such has done this track and blah blah blah. Drive up to it and press X to attempt. You know, stuff like that.
That's cool.
So that's a pretty cool little benefit in my opinion with Rage 2. So I quite like those social compounds. It would have been nice to have it as a like an online co-op, but hey, you know, it's good to have those single player games as well. You don't have to constantly.
And also the screaming kids that you always get online as well. You don't have that screaming down your headphones.
Yeah.
That's
so
frustrating.
I mean, people like us that are huge introverts, mate. We just don't have the energy to just deal with people constantly. You know, online all the time, and even then, some nights, you know, like for a while there, I was playing with a couple of good friends of mine, playing Apex Legends and all that, and we're playing just about every night, but I enjoyed playing with them and I enjoyed gaming with them, but it was also just those nights where I just wanted to play on my own. You know what I mean?
Yes,
so,
I think that's with me. I mean, I feel like because I come from more of a retro background, I like just sitting on the couch with a mate as opposed to just being in a lobby with tons of people just talking over the top of you. And, you know, I mean, I don't do much online gaming. To be fair, the only online gaming I really do is actually with you. Like, you're the only person, and we barely even join up with other people playing. We normally just stick it to the two of us. So,
yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly. But, mate, that's topic number 1 for me, mate. I can't wait to hear what you've got up.
All right, so I'll get to the obvious. I'll start off with, Super Mario Maker 2. They dropped this with a 15-minute deep dive video to go into some of the features of Super Mario Maker 2. So they've got some good stuff going on. You know, slopes are back in. There's now night mode, and even because of the success of Odyssey, they've got 3D world levels. But that isn't all. They've now also announced that they're gonna have all new building modes, even co-op, and even a story mode as well. So they are filling this thing to the brim, and I don't blame them. You know, it hits next month, and you betcha I'm gonna get my hands on this. And the return of the infamous Angry Sun. If you're a Mario fan, you'll know who the Angry Sun is.
No, wouldn't have a clue.
Oh, he was a complete and utter bastard. He was the sun in the sky, and then he'd just come down and attack you when he got annoyed. But they've got crazy things happening. You know, there's going to have modes where you can change gravity, flipped environments, dark environments. Yeah, you name it, they're putting it in this. And you know, the classic Mario Odyssey power moons, well, when you hit the moon, it turns actually into nighttime, vice versa. They're doing all kinds of things, man. Like, they've now got, like I said, 3D levels, which is something they're really upping. And they've also started, where is it? They started putting, like, more enemies from previous games into it that have missed out. They've even got, say, the bonsai bills can now even fly at you, not from the sides, but directly towards you into the camera. They've got creepier piranha plants. Cat Mario is back. Yeah, so characters from Super Mario 3D World will also be making an appearance. And they're doing they're back with multiplayer mode with Luigi, Toad, and Toadette, who are joining the fun as well. So they are throwing everything into this game. They are taking everything from all walks of Mario and sticking it from desert, snow, forest, skies. They are doing multiple backdrops, man. They are filling this thing to the brim, and it's going to be a hell of a game. But
yeah, man.
What's also happened, there in the trailer, in the background, there was a Super Nintendo logo that was put into the trailer that was discovered by fans as well. And they're left speculating on what the hell that means. Because that logo hasn't been seen, obviously, since the Super Nintendo days. Why the hell was that in the background on one of these levels in that 15-minute trailer drop or 15-minute deep dive? So people are going, what the hell does that mean? So, yeah. And that news is only in 2 hours ago, man. That is fresh. So, yeah, don't know what that's doing lurking around in the backdrops of that game specifically. But I guess when it drops in June, it will be good to know. But I'm definitely going to get my hands on that, and that is going to be it's going to be great. So, yeah, that should be fun. And I don't know, have you ever played Super Mario Maker?
No, I haven't, because I haven't owned any sort of Nintendo compound since probably not long after the Nintendo Wii came out. I owned a Nintendo Wii for a handful of months, and then I got rid of it back in like 2008, 2009, so like over 10 years ago. Yeah, was the last time I touched a Nintendo.
Well, I didn't actually get Mario Maker. Funny enough, I'm a big Mario fan. I never got the Wii U. I kind of just never got it. Probably because I was poor as hell at that point in time. Nothing much has changed now, but it's I never actually play it, and I was kicking myself for never doing it. But this one, I've got myself a Switch, and I'm gonna get my hands on that. It's gonna be freaking cool. So
yeah, man, I've got to tell you that because I'm a big fan of Dashi games, and he was live streaming his reaction to the trailer, and I managed to catch most of it, and it looks awesome. The concepts that they've brought in looks great, and of course what's blown me away the most was the multiplayer concept, and what I saw was that there can be like 4 of you trying to complete the course yourselves, and you're sort of cooperating with each other, but you're sort of racing each other as well, and when it comes to like the final boss, you sort of help each other to try and kill the final boss, but then one of you just can like jump ahead and take out the axe right at the end or whatever, and all this sort of stuff. So it's yeah, man, I mean that's really, really cool, and I'm looking forward to watching some of my favourite, because I do watch a lot of Super Mario Maker on YouTube, believe it or not, from Dashi and a couple others that do it as well, because it's quite funny to watch people rage on that game, which is hilarious, especially when they try and attempt to do the Kaizo levels, which is just insane.
Yeah.
So mate, I'd be looking forward to seeing you put it up on your channel, play once a week or something like that, chuck it on your channel. I'd watch that every week, mate, because it just looks interesting as hell.
Yeah, I know, and some of the courses that people make in that game are fucking unreal. Yeah, and right? How people even complete half of those courses is unreal. But
yeah, right.
Look, to be honest, I'll definitely be grabbing it. I haven't even put any Switch footage up on my channel.
Do it.
Yeah. I've gone and unlocked everyone in Smash the authentic way. I didn't cheat the system. I unlocked every single damn one of those motherfuckers. 60-something characters. But so I definitely should put some Smash up, because that is a damn cool game. And when Mario Maker comes in, I'll do that as well. But, it's just damn cool. I've been considering putting a playthrough of Super Mario Odyssey on, to be fair, because it's just so good. It's just so good. But if I was to do a series of that, I'd have like 300 parts, so I couldn't really do it. But yeah, man, the Switch is kicking some serious goals, and they've just got so many more games coming out. It's just unreal. So, and we covered that last week, so I'm not going to do it again. But I don't know whoever is leading Nintendo into the battlefield with some of these games deserves more than a pat on the back, because Nintendo are seriously throwing PlayStation and Xbox in the mud and kicking them. They're ruling the world at the moment, man. As far as consoles.
I just heard today that Nintendo Switch has outsold PlayStation 4 in Japan.
Yeah, it has. Good on them. I mean, they've done 8,125,000, and I think the PS4 is 8,077,000. So, yeah.
Amazing.
It's really cool, and good on them, man.
100%.
Well, that's enough of Super Mario Maker. I'll throw it back to you, man, because I'll get carried away talking about the Switch forever.
We'll both get carried away talking about gaming regardless, mate.
I know.
It won't stop. Once it starts, it won't stop.
And it's not us just trying to make filler. It's not. We just get carried away.
All the time. People start. It's me all the time. Gaming and Muay Thai happens all the time. People start talking to me about gaming. I say to look, mate, I don't want to talk about gaming. He said, why not? I said, because I won't stop talking about gaming. So
yeah, I feel like I'm going to start boring people, and I don't want to bore people.
Exactly, that and Muay Thai, same thing. As people start asking me about Muay Thai and all that sort of stuff, and as soon as I start, I don't stop. Oh, can you show me a couple of things? Oh, I shouldn't really. Why? Because I won't fucking stop, that's why. So, so it's just one of those things. All right, mate, so I'm going to continue on to my topic number 2. So, The Last of Us Part 2. Very happy to see that it's been announced, but not officially announced, but it's been rumoured by gaming social commentators that Last of Us 2 is in its final stages of development. So how they know that is, social gaming commentators watch, these are the type of people that that dig deep. They lock on they're on the dark web or something. I don't know what they do. But these are the people, when you see sources from GameStop say that this gaming company is hiring this amount of people to start development on this at this studio and all this sort of stuff. It's like, where do they get their information from? So these social gaming commentators is where they get this information from. So apparently, Naughty Dog Studios has hired the mop-up team now. So basically, they're finishing off development. So game testers, gameplay, analysis and all that sort of stuff, whatever you want to call it. All these kind of people. They've recorded the last of the music apparently. So apparently the I think what do they call it? The orchestra and all that. All the musicians they're not going to the studio anymore. So I think they've finished their bit. The final acting is wrapping up as well. So it's basically in wrap up mode. So, which is really awesome. So Sony's not attending this year's E3, which everyone knew about, but apparently Naughty Dog and a lot of others that have come out and said that Sony will make announcements during E3, just not at E3.
I was going to say they'd be stupid not to because
they'll make announcements. It's just not it just won't be at E3, but they'll still make announcements during E3. And of course, Last of Us 2 is probably the biggest anticipated announcement, which is including the official release date. Whether there's going to be a new trailer involved, we don't know. But the main thing is the official release date. It's definitely going to be 2019. There's no way it'd be 2020. The fact that it's in Mop-Up Studios has cemented a lot of faith into these social media commentators that the way things are going, typical behaviour, that the game won't be delayed or won't be delayed aggressively. Like in typical fashion, at this point in time, people know if the game's going to be delayed before it's announced that it's delayed. It's like, how do they know that? It's because they watch what the development team are doing. So, Uncharted 4 was delayed by like almost a year. And The Last of Us 2 is not showing any signs of that kind of action at the moment. So, which is really, really good. But honestly, we're going to hear an official announcement of Last of Us 2 this E3 by Sony. It won't be at E3, but it'll be during E3 by most certainly, and we'll be hearing the release date of Last of Us 2 as well. So whether they're going to, show another trailer or anything like that, we don't know. But that's exciting stuff. Yeah. Of course, Sony won't be at the convention, which is, is like buried rumours that they'll announce the PS5 or anything like that. But on a bit of a side note with the E3 thing, AMD are setting up a stand now. Last minute schedule change for AMD. AMD are suppliers for a lot of like graphics cards. Supplies. They supply PlayStation console with a lot of their components and all that sort of stuff. They are now rumoured to set up a stand last minute, and they're going to be doing their own little sort of conference thing there as well, which will give a lot of people that are nosy like these social gaming commentators to sort of pick their brains to see. So what components are you looking at putting in the PS5? Well, I shouldn't tell you. What if I gave you $1 million? All right, I'll tell you. Things like that, mate. So, mate, that's exciting stuff. I can't wait to hear and see more about that. That will make me go buy a new PlayStation because I got to play that game. I just can't. There's no way. There's no way I could sit at home and live with myself knowing that there are millions of people playing Last of Us 2 and I'm not. So there's no way that's happening.
Yeah, I was the same, man, when the Switch came out, because I'm such a Legend of Zelda fan, and Breath of the Wild came out, and I was like, I'm not playing that. I'm not borrowing my brother's Wii U and playing it that way. I am getting a Switch, and I'm playing Breath of the Wild, for when that happens. It took me a year to save enough money to buy the console, buy the game, walk down there, slap my cash on the table and said, I want this. And it took me so long, but I was like, that was the very first time I bought a new console since the Nintendo Wii. The rest of mine were second-hand babies. So I was like, no, I'm getting that. Because I had to play that game. And I feel the same kind of thing with Last of Us 2.
Yeah, definitely.
It's the same thing. I always get scared, though, when there's a bit of a wait. Because it's 6 years between games. It won Game of the Year in 2013, did Last of Us, didn't it? I think. It was Game of the Year 2013.
2013? No, I retired. No, 2012. Because I remember retiring from fighting and the first thing I did, I brought the game the same week of my last fight, and I didn't want to play it because I didn't want it to distract me, because I was literally days out from fighting, and I stopped gaming pretty much that week, like a couple of weeks before fighting. There's a few things you got to do. You got to, do a lot of prepping for your fights. You got to watch your diet and all that sort of stuff, and you can't have sex for about 4 weeks before your fight. And I usually didn't game for about 2 weeks before, because I didn't want it to distract me. So I brought Last of Us the same week of my last fight, which was June, like around about June 2012. So and I didn't play it for like 2 weeks. No, about a week and a half or something like that, because of my fight. So because like I said, I was too scared it was going to distract me. So
I just looked it up, and it is it did win Game of the Year in 2012, and it won a ton of stuff all the way through to 2013 as well. So it was winning awards for 2 years, man. But do you get scared sometimes that they've waited so long between games that they're going to ruin it?
Yeah, I know what you mean. They forget they forget what made the first game so good.
And just because of its popularity, they'll spit out a sequel, but not put enough effort into it. It's just a money-making machine, and I get scared sometimes that that's the case.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But anyway, I have faith in it.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Definitely, buddy. But that's topic number 2 for me, mate. What else have you got for me, buddy?
All right, cool. So I'm going to talk about some forgotten game series from the world of Nintendo that may be coming back. And like I said, the Switch are doing good things. It's about time they turned to some of these forgotten series, man. First of all, you mentioned about the possibility of another Star Fox game. We mentioned that was an announcement at E3.
Yeah. Here's
the bad news. That might be true, but I think it is a racing game, which is what I feared.
Yeah.
So that's got me quite sad, because I was like, I hope it's not a racing game. But unfortunately, it looks like it might be a racing game. So that is bad news. But there is some better news, because when we talk about racing, a series that really needs a reprise could be coming back, and that is F-Zero. F-Zero, F-Zero might be coming back. And good old Captain Falcon, although he has appeared in Smash Brothers, but he's not appeared in his own game since the very first Smash Brothers came out. Take that in. There's not been an F-Zero game since Smash Brothers on the 64.
Wow.
Yeah. So they did say there was a GameCube entry, but I don't know how authentic it really was. I think, it flopped. I think it lost a lot of its touch and wasn't too much like F-Zero. So, not really counting that, but he, could be back, which is really cool, because I don't know if you've played F-Zero. That was damn cool.
No, I haven't played F-Zero.
Oh yeah, well, it's a damn cool game, and I found that mainly later in life. I didn't really know that or play that much as a kid, but it is really damn cool. It's damn cool. The other one that could be coming back is Mother. If you know what Mother is, it's also known as Earthbound.
I'm familiar with Earthbound.
Yeah, well, in Japan it's called Mother.
Right.
So it was really weird, because they had that released on the Super Nintendo. They had a Mother 2, which was only released in Japan. The rest of the world never got to see it, which sucks, because, it does. There's games out there that we never get to really enjoy. In saying that, though, there was a Mother 3 that was only exclusive to the Game Boy Advance in Japan.
Right.
But they think there is a Mother 4 that is coming and in the works. And they are looking at releasing 1, 2, and 3 on the retro game part of the Nintendo Switch, and making 3 games available to everyone. So Earthbound or Mother, whichever way you want to say it. I know it more as Earthbound. But they are looking to bring those 3 games that were only Japanese to the world. But they've got to put the English subtitles or, the writing in those kind of games. I've got to turn it all to English and such, but that is a possibility. And that would be... I know Earthbound, but I've never played much of it, to be fair. It just reminds me of that, the look of Pokemon, which obviously Earthbound was first, but, it looks cool. And it leaves this one to the very end, and I left this one to the very end because it is about fucking time, and I'm going to say Banjo-Kazooie. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, so there was talks about Banjo and Kazooie being Smash Brothers DLCs. And it looks like they are leaning towards doing that. And it is going to be to tease an upcoming game.
Right.
Holy damn, that would be damn cool. Because that was one of the best 64 games. And
yeah, man. So they're going to do a remaster, or is it going to be like an addition to it? To the series?
I think they're doing a completely new game. It's not a remaster. It's not anything. What they do want to do... Yeah, and what they're doing is they're thinking about using the Super Mario Odyssey engine to do that.
Oh, okay.
So they're going to give it a complete rework, and it'll be similar to kind of like the 3D World of Odyssey for Banjo and Kazooie. And that would be...
So it would definitely be Banjo-Kazooie, because you had Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, so it's not going to be like Banjo-Kablooey or anything like that?
I don't know. Who knows? I think it's going to be Banjo-Kazooie and then have a whatever. Almost like Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. It'll be Banjo-Kazooie. Hoobly doobly boobly. I don't know, whatever they call it. It could be anything.
I hope they call it that now. I hope they call it that. What'd you call it?
I don't even know.
What was it?
You couldn't ask me to say it again because I couldn't.
Hoobly doobly boobly? Oh, shit, yeah, sounds great.
Like that.
Awesome. What'd you play last night, mate? Hoobly doobly boobly?
Banjo-Kazooie, hoobly boobly doobly. Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds so erotic.
It does.
Hoobly doobly boobly.
It sounds a mixture of erotic and just full-blown off your meds.
Yeah, so one of those two, somewhere in between, that happy grey area between the two of them.
But the other ones that they're looking at doing as well, or bringing back, was the Chrono series. I don't know much about Chrono Trigger. Right. Yeah, and also Galaga.
Galaga, classic 1980s arcade.
Yeah, and that was one of the most influential arcade games of all time anyway. So
big top, 100%.
But they have been quiet for 30 years. So let's see if anything goes ahead there. I was more excited for F-Zero, Earthbound, and definitely Banjo-Kazooie as opposed to the other two, because I guess that was my era. But Galaga would still be quite exciting to see. I mean, how do they even remake that for the Switch? Maybe they'll just release it as, the retro side of the Switch, I don't know. No, we'll see.
I used to play Deluxe Galaga quite a lot on Amiga when I was a kid growing up. I used to play a lot on Amiga, which is really good fun. But yeah, that's cool, man. That's awesome.
So that's games Nintendo is looking at maybe bringing back. So that would be really, really cool.
That's really awesome, man. That's really, really cool.
So I'm going to throw it back to you as to do what you do best.
Cool. All right, mate. That sounds good. All right, so my next topic of agenda is, of course, announced recently, was the World of Warcraft Classic release date. So they're remaking the original World of Warcraft Classic, and it's announced that it will be released on August 27th this year, and it is currently... it's literally just yesterday, well today initially, in America, North America and all that sort of stuff. It's now gone into closed beta. You can organise an invite if you want to by following certain links and all that sort of stuff. But basically that's really interesting. I mean, World of Warcraft is arguably the most influential game of the MMO era of our kind. You know, so released in 2004, it took millions upon millions of players, under its wing, and they developed their own little RPG character and playing online, doing raids and all that sort of stuff, growing the character. So. And of course, it was one of the first games of its kind, and probably the first game to cause the ever so notorious, infamous gaming addiction disease that we know of today. So that's where it pretty much all started. So that's when that game when people wouldn't leave their house, wouldn't leave their bedroom, stop working, go on the dole, break up from girlfriends. Have the whole invention of shit buckets and all that sort of stuff. That whole gamer stereotype really sort of came into light a lot more thanks to World of Warcraft. So,
were you a big World of Warcraft player, or were you what do they call it? That's role playing games, I suppose, is the way. Did you ever get into role playing games and World of Warcraft and? What's some of the other ones? Is it League of Legends? Might be another one. I can't think.
Yeah,
Diablo.
Good question. No, not exactly. Because for a long time, I usually only played on consoles, and my cousin was a PC gamer. It's a bit hard to explain in the podcast. It's something that I'll have to explain to you in person, but. My cousin, who's one of my best friends, love him to death. Him and I are basically the exact same person, except he's about 5.5 years older than me. He'll probably listen to this podcast tonight. Big shout out to you. He's always got about a million different names. He changes his gamer tag all the time. Vagrant is what he's now known as, so cool. He's changed his name to Vagrant. Big shout out to Vagrant if you're listening, mate. I used to go to his place every week without fail, like on the weekends, and spend like the whole entire weekend there just gaming and just talk about gaming and all that sort of stuff. And he had a PC, and he's always been a PC gamer at heart. He switched to consoles when the PlayStation 2. He had a PlayStation 1 when I was growing up. He had a PlayStation 1 and an Amiga, and Sega Dreamcast and Sega Saturn and all that sort of stuff, and by Nintendo 64, but he was always into Amiga. Amiga was his big thing, and that was his main source of gaming. And then consoles started developing, especially the PlayStation 2. When the PlayStation 2 came out, and because he loved the PlayStation 1 a lot, but he was always into his Amiga, the PlayStation 2 just really sort of took off, and he was PlayStation 2 for a while. Then he went back to PC gaming, but he's always been a PC gamer at heart. But when the PS3 came out, that's basically when he stopped PC gaming, and he literally was console gaming for about probably 12 years straight. Console gaming, never ever PC gaming at all, and basically console gaming for about 12 years straight. And only about 3 years ago, he invested in a new PC because he was just over a lot of the whole Sony crap. And there's a lot of stuff that happened to Sony about 3 years ago about paying for this, paying for that, upgrading this, upgrading that, and blah 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 blah, and decided, screw it, I'm going to go back to PC gaming, and he did, and I followed suit. I brought the exact same PC he did, and so the point of me channeling this bloody story is that World of Warcraft was one of the games that he used to play, and a lot of games that I know of today that were only on PC that you wouldn't see on consoles, like the Wizardry series, and all that sort of stuff, I'm familiar with because he had it on PC. And World of Warcraft was one of the ones that he would play. I'd go around there, and I used to enjoy just sitting back and watching him play. I wasn't one of those type of people who go, oh, come on, I want to go, I want to play, I want to try something, let's play something we can play together. I used to love just kicking back and just watching him play and go through adventures and all that sort of stuff. I used to really enjoy it. And World of Warcraft, like I said, was one of them. And I remember visiting him one time, and he had a bit of a relationship breakdown because of that game and all that sort of stuff, which was quite funny. He wasn't working or stopped working or something because of the game. So it was. I think he went through a bit of a phase, and he's like, I've got to stop playing. And he stopped playing. He's like, no, I'm not going to play that game. That took over my life, sort of thing, and a lot of other people. But yeah, man, that was just a funny little concept. That
cool, man. Yeah. It's funny because I was never really into those kind of games. I just wasn't, and I don't know. Yeah. I don't know why I never was. Maybe I just didn't have people to really play games with. I don't know. But I just never really got into that scene. Like, I think I was the same when you said that you were mainly a console gamer and not a PC gamer. I think, that was probably what I was doing as well, I would say. I feel like that is probably why I'm not much of a PC gamer. I am getting into the scene a bit more now, to be fair, because sometimes it's easier to record some stuff on PC than it is to
100%.
hook up your consoles, especially the older retro ones, stick them through the game capture HD, convert them down, get them in there. Sometimes it squishes the screen. Some reason when I stream, because I play on my original consoles, because Twitch doesn't like you using ROMs, by the way, and emulators. So I play authentically. But in saying that, obviously when you split it through that, it stretches the screen a little bit because it just has to. Otherwise, you're never going to get it at the 4:3 ratio. And some people come into my stream, man, and go, "Why the fuck have you got it on like widescreen? This is like a retro game." And I'm like, yeah, try and split, a retro game through a game capture in the world of 2019. I guarantee you it ain't going to be... It's got to run out of a HDMI bloody cord. So yeah, I can understand why PC gaming is very popular. Me, I still love a controller in hand. I can't get used to the keyboard and mouse. I just can't do it. And most of the games I do play on Steam, I do stick a controller in. So, other than Thief Simulator, god damn, that's probably why I get caught by the police so much. I'm trying to fuck around and getting out of a window, and I'm just constantly just bonking my head. But I think that's why I never got into the scene, because I was just a console guy, and live in my heart, I just still am. So, But I was just wondering, because you brought it up, so I was just curious as to whether or not you were into that scene or not, and I never really understood it myself.
Yes, well, it's always has been and always will be a benchmark of at least MMORPG. I mean, it's basically the Godfather game. It really is. I mean, love it or hate it, it's kind of like the Coca-Cola symbol. Everyone knows what even little tribes in Africa knows what the Coca-Cola symbol is because of the way they are. So when you ask a gamer, do you know what World of Warcraft is? Of course I do. So. I'll probably never play the remake. I'm not really interested in playing the remake. I've never really got into them, but it deserves the respect of us acknowledging its presence, because it's just a fantastic game. It's not the greatest game ever made, but just the amount of people that it's influenced and its influence on gaming itself. I mean, a lot of people have taken, a lot of developers, the developing studios they are today because of games like World of Warcraft, because they would have taken pages from those book of how they would do social multiplayer interactions and all that sort of stuff, and they would have taken a lot of knowledge of how these people reacted to these situations and all that sort of stuff, and and the one thing is how did they make the game so addictive, what they did. And honestly, it was the leveling up system. That's what it is. That whole leveling up system, becoming the endorsed power of your second character, building third characters and fourth characters, doing raids, succeeding, great success, getting rewarded for it, and all that sort of stuff. So that's what I mean. So World of Warcraft, in my opinion, was the first of that kind of upgrade reward system that we know of today, and a lot of studios would have taken note from that into their own multiplayer versions of their games to make people keep coming back the next day and playing the game. Why would I want to keep playing this game? Because every time I play it, I'll update, get better, upgrade, develop, my character will level up, blah 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 blah, and I'll feel like I really am this character, and I want to build it up and feel superior for whatever reason, you know what I mean? So yeah, man, World of Warcraft is basically one of the greatest games of all time for many, many reasons. So that's yeah, man.
Well, cool, man.
Yeah, man. But that's my topic. Topic number 3, mate. Over to you, buddy. What else have you got for me, man?
All right, cool. So I spoke about Unreal Engine at the start of this. I said I was going to cover off. Man, if people don't know what Unreal Engine is, it's, I guess you can go in there and recreate. You can create new games, and a lot of games even nowadays use Unreal. I couldn't name a list of them off the top of my head, but it's people are taking old games from, whether it's 64, and it's probably not going to go further back than 64. So you would think, because that was the first 3D world kind of layout they had, and they've taken old games and mapped them into newer games. And we mentioned Ocarina of Time has done it before. I think in our very first podcast I mentioned that. And then Star Wars Pod Racer had been announced in Unreal Engine. And by the way, dude, I've played that now. I got a copy of Pod Racer and I've played it. It is really, really cool. It's sweet.
Nice.
There's some more, and some really freaking exciting ones. And I'm going to start off by this one. Ghosts and Goblins. And that is probably a really surprising one because, that was NES. And then you had Super Ghouls and Ghosts on the Super Nintendo. Oh boy, was that game fucking hard. And not only was it hard, when you complete it, it goes, oh, now you need to do it in hard mode and go through the whole thing all over again. It's such a slap in the face. But, yeah, it's been recreated in Unreal Engine 4. And, dude, it looks fucking creepy. They've got the ambience of the music in there, and it resembles something that you'd probably see on Dark Souls if you've played Dark Souls. It looks fucking creepy. It's just unfortunate if Capcom took this idea. If Capcom took the idea and turned this into, a game, we'd definitely be interested in something Capcom's doing at the moment. But I don't know if you ever played Ghouls and Goblins or Super Ghosts and Ghouls. Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
On Amiga I did. Ghouls and Goblins, and the sequel in the early 90s was Ghouls and Ghost. It was Ghosts and Goblins, I think, or something like that.
Ghosts and Goblins is the one that they've done. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Yeah. So.
Dude, it looks insane. It's like it starts by walking into these creepy graveyard gates that open up, and it's just that blue shine of the moon going through the trees. It looks a treat. It looks an absolute treat. And, talking about a series of where the hell they've been. Where the hell's that been? After Super Ghouls and Ghosts, they're probably like, no more. We can't do it anymore. But anyway, another one that has been recreated, and it is literally just bloodshed, and it certainly looks sweet, and that is Doom 2 on Unreal Engine 4. And
well, fuck, man.
If you want to see the crazy sparks fly from the chain gun, it looks like fucking bloodshed. It looks violent, it looks grotesque, it looks amazing. So, Unreal Engine, they've got that as well. On top of that as well, Diddy Kong Racing has been recreated in Unreal Engine. It was very much overshadowed by Mario Kart 64, let's be honest. It was always going to be overshadowed by Mario Kart, because Mario Kart was just too damn good.
It was.
A few on Donkey Kong 64, Super Mario 64, although there's only parts of that are, they've not got a whole game and whatnot there. They've also done... They recreated some Super Smash Brothers stuff, which I don't know why that needed to be done, seeing as we got Smash Ultimate that has everything that's ever come out. But two that I'm really excited for that they've done, Half-Life.
Oh.
I don't know if you've ever played Half-Life.
No, but again, back to with my cousin, I sat there and saw him pretty much play all of Half-Life 1 and 2. Yeah,
they've brought that up into the new modern day look. It looks sweet. And the one I'm most excited about is a project, and it's called GoldenEye 25, which is a complete remake of the classic 007 GoldenEye for the 64.
Fuck me.
Yeah, and there's some footage of the facility level, There's a whole facility level you can play through with the PP7 starting in the air vents. I'm not kidding. It looks just incredible. And what they're doing is there's just 7 people working on that, and they're going to do every single damn GoldenEye level. Every single one they're going to do. So you can just play that game for what it is. And it's just a complete fan-made project, but GoldenEye 25. I'm going to try and get my hands on that facility level to play through because, dude, it is incredible. It's something of just beauty. I can't believe people are actually able to map this stuff out. I mean, how clever have you got to be? I just don't understand how they can do half that shit, you know? I don't understand it, but I'm glad they're able to do that because, damn, you know, just damn. But I'm going to try and get my hands on some of that as well because I haven't recorded Pod Racer, but seeing some of these, I mean, the Legend of Zelda one I played through is the most successful video on my channel, dude. So I want to get my hands on some more of these. The guy that does them, and that shout out to a guy called CryZenX on YouTube.
Oh yes,
dude, he's a machine. He's just a one-man team usually, but he's chipped in to help with this GoldenEye project, I think. But I actually contacted him and said, dude, can I please try your Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time one? I want to put it up on my channel. And he actually messaged me back and said sure, and sent me the files. I was a lucky dude to do it. And he didn't do the Pod Racer one. That was some other person. But he's done a lot of these ones. He's done Doom. So I'm going to be hitting him up to play it and see if he'll happily send me the link. So if you don't ask, you don't get, is the general rule. Mate. So I'm going to try and get my hands on some of these, man, because they're of some beauty, and they're classic games that, you know, it's good to see them brought into the technology world we live in now, because it's just it'll be insane if they can actually do a full game. But knowing Nintendo, they'll release all these parts, and Nintendo will shut the project down, because Nintendo have the they seem to do that. They let people get almost to the end of finishing something, and then they'll go, nah. They love letting people waste their time.
Yeah, that's awesome. Fucking love it. Love it as well, but totally, 100%.
But, you know, we'll see. But, yeah, do, man. Oh, and if I can get these, I'll give them to you to try out for yourself.
Mate, I'd love to. Chuck them on my channel. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, man.
Especially GoldenEye. That'd be great.
Oh, dude, I've been wanting to play GoldenEye on my channel for so long. I've been wanting to do 4-player GoldenEye, like, since the day I started. Yeah. It's just the banter, man. The banter is one in itself, but there's nothing like walking around in GoldenEye just trying to chop your opponent to death. Slappers only, or throwing knives. Throwing knives in the what's it called? Is it the bunker where it's that big open area, and you're just just spinning around in circles trying to throw fucking knives at each other. It's just
throwing knives in the pyramid was always fun.
The temple? Was it the temple?
Temple, that's it.
Oh, throwing knives. Yeah. Just throwing knives in general, or when you just do the remote mines and you just plaster them everywhere and just hope someone just walks into them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it.
Oh, man. Anyway, that's some stuff that's coming on Unreal Engine, so that'll be really cool. So, looking forward to doing that and getting my hands on that and seeing how it comes along. But there's still a ton of games there that I would love to see it done too, but I'm just not smart enough to do it myself. So,
yes, that's the thing, mate. Smarts and patience. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
All right, so back to you.
Yeah, man. So, updates from last week with E3. So, there isn't really much going on. I did mention something about E3 not too long ago about, the graphics card company, AMD, with all dealing with the components at E3. But there isn't really much more E3 updates except for confirmation of what games will definitely be announced at E3. So, last week, I announced rumours of what games will be announced. And now there's a list of games that are definitely going to be announced.
Sweet. I'm excited for this.
At E3. So, of course, there are still rumours of games to be announced. So to say, just because I haven't mentioned any games on this list doesn't mean that there definitely won't be an announcement, and it doesn't mean there definitely will. But these are the ones that definitely be announced. And of course, it speaks for itself as well, because I mean, people are going back. How can these not get announced? So a few of them we already know about, which is really cool. There's a couple of there that I didn't really know about. But I'm just happy to announce that the following list, these are the ones that just sort of stood out for me.
Sweet.
But I'm happy to announce these that are definitely going to be announced with, confirmed release dates, possibly trailers and all that sort of stuff as well. But that's the thing I would like to hear when these games are coming out. So, of course, the big one, probably the biggest game, and I'm calling it now, it's going to be Game of the Year by far, and that's Cyberpunk 2077. That's going to be officially announced at E3.
Cool.
Doom Eternal, we knew that was going to be announced as well.
Yep.
Dying Light 2 as well. FIFA 20, which is, of course, no bloody surprise. It's like
every year.
Someone tell me that FIFA is going to get announced at E3. It's like someone telling me the sun's hot. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, right. No worries, mate. Hot. So,
by the way,
worries, mate.
Dying Light 2, I'm excited for that. I'm a big Dying Light fan. Yeah man. Love Dying Light. That was a damn good story as well, and it's, have you played Dying Light?
No, I haven't.
Oh, dude, like some of the shit you go through there. That's actually 2-player co-op online. That's something we should do. It's just, yeah, man. They and you know how you said there was a game you mentioned earlier, Rage 2, that they're throwing the old big fucking gun into the game. Dying Light had some cameo weapons as well. You had the fucking Excalibur. You had to swim out to like a random rock island in the middle of the ocean, and there was a dead body with the Excalibur just stuck through him, and you had to pull it out of the stone, and you can walk around and chop zombies up with the Excalibur. It's insane.
Yeah, maybe Dying Light might be something we can look into, mate. Because I wanted to play Dying Light and I wanted to play multiplayer. Maybe it's something that we can do, man. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, man, Dying Light would be fun. So yeah, there you go. So I just wanted to throw up Dying Light there because I'm a big fan of Dying Light. It was really good. So
that might be something. Yeah, that might be something we might have to do. So that might be something we have to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll talk a bit more about that off air.
Yeah, we will. Yeah. So, all right, go back to your list. Man. Sorry, I rudely interrupted.
That's it. No, mate, I love it. Don't get me wrong, mate. I absolutely love it. I love all the info. It's all good, buddy. So FIFA 20, yeah, great. That's awesome. I love that. Final Fantasy VII remake, which is quite anticipated. Halo Infinite, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which we knew would get announced, but waiting for an official date will be pretty cool as well. Of course, everyone knows about this one. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and World Rally Championship 8. So these are all confirmed, most likely having release dates as well. But mate, that was my fourth and final topic. I've just got my honourable mentions and do you feel old yet? So mate, you got anything else that you want to add in for today's podcast, buddy?
I do, and it's my last topic as well, and that is the announcement of a new Mortal Kombat movie.
Yes.
So a reboot has been given the green light, and it is happening.
Nice.
I am nervous for this because I feel like movies these days, there is not a good, and you would know this, you know Muay Thai, and I've come from a martial arts and wrestling background. Movies these days, they overdo it with special effects. There is no such thing as just a normal, what a fight scene should be. So you kick this person, they fly all over the goddamn place. So this needs to show a proper fight scene, this movie. Because, I mean, the first Mortal Kombat movie was okay. Mortal Kombat Annihilation, it was just how many people can we cram into the cast. It was pretty piss poor. I don't know if you've ever seen it. They need something special with this one. Good. I'm not much of a movie buff kind of guy. It's not my scene, so I can't believe I'm talking about a movie here. But it's going to be shot here in Australia.
In Adelaide, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in South Australia, Adelaide.
Yes.
Yeah, so the producer is James Wan. If you don't know who James Wan is, he's the guy that did Saw. So if it might get the authentic Mortal Kombat violence that was lacking in movies, but we'll see what happens. And they're looking for proper martial artists and people, more martial artists than actors, so to speak. But it's early days now. It's been given the green light as of yesterday, so not much has been said on it. There's no actors or anyone that's been put up to the plate. They've just said Mortal Kombat is given a green light for a movie, so it will be on the big screens, they're thinking, by the end of 2020. So we've got a long way to go yet, but I'm skeptical as much as I am excited, because some video game movies transfer over, some don't. I hold all my faith in Sonic.
Yeah, man.
But let's see what happens with MK. And, we've got the guy that did the Saw franchise working on it. We might get some proper violence that Mortal Kombat deserves. So we'll see what happens. So, that was just a quick little thing that, that was my last topic. It was just a quick little bit of news there, but still exciting nonetheless. So
that is, mate. That is pretty cool,
back
man.
to you for your honourable mentions, and I might speak of an honourable mention as well at the end. Just something that I've been doing recently that I might just throw up. I've found a new love for something. So
yeah, cool, man.
So go for it, man.
Cool.
I'll throw it to you.
All right, cool, man. So my honourable mention is basically the Steam Summer Sale. So once a year, the Steam Summer Sale, Steam has a sale where games are like 80-90% off. So like you can like literally buy the most expensive games for like $5. So it's rumoured that people save their money all year and just wait for this summer sale. And they just fill up their gaming library. I've still got games in my gaming library that I brought last year's summer sale that I still haven't got around to playing yet. So
it was about that time that last year of the summer sales I actually became a PC gamer. Embarrassing to say. I turned to PC gaming then. I was not a Steam guy, so summer sales is what brought me into the PC gaming world.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and I'm excited about it. So, it's a good marketing strategy. It's a good marketing tactic, I should say, by Valve to not start advertising when they're going to do these sales, not for about a week until out from when they do it. So they've leaked the rumor of when the release dates will be. So that they reckon the Steam sale will start somewhere between the 21st of June and the 23rd of June, but you won't know until about 5 days out from the actual Steam sale. And it's a good thing they do that, because imagine being told now that it's definitely going to be the 21st or the 23rd or something like that. You won't buy a game at all from Steam over the next 4 weeks. So because there's going to be a sale and everything, and the game you just brought will be $5, and you just spent $100 on the game. So.
Dying Light.
But the most, yeah, man. Well, exactly. I was just thinking that. It's funny. That's what I mean. It's funny you say that. We'll talk about it a bit more off air.
Yeah, we will do.
Some other time. But yeah, man. It's a whole bunch of games, and this is what I was talking about. So like all those games that we just put in our wish list, they'll all go on special with not 90% off. So, but probably the biggest thing about this one is that Epic Games, being the pain in the ass that they are going to hold their own little sale. So it's going to be Epic Games first. They're going to call it the Epic Mega Sale, apparently, and it's going to hold their first midsummer sale of their own kind, where all their games are going to be like 90% off as well. So that made a very interesting little thing, because that will make me very intrigued to go to the Epic store to see what they've got for sale and for cheap, and compared to Steam and all that sort of stuff. So, I mean, if you think about it, because they're going direct competition with Epic, Epic's going to direct competition with Steam, they're going to have to do something like that if you think about it. So, But apart from that, that little honourable mention, and of course, my Do You Feel Old Yet? Are you ready, buddy? Are you ready to feel old?
All right, hit me with it.
GTA Vice City was released this week in May 2003, 16 years ago.
Wow, that's crazy. That is actually crazy.
GTA Vice City. So,
what the hell?
Yeah, man.
That is crazy. Oh, man. Good old Vice City. I've actually got Vice City on the PS4, funny enough. Like, I actually have it on the PS4 because there was a bundle back like a year or two ago, and it was $26, and you got GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas for $26. So I was like, hells yeah. So that's what I did.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, GTA is still good. It's still so popular as well. GTA 5 is crazy what they're doing now with all the cars and stuff. But man, Vice City, I think, is what got me hooked on GTA. I think Vice City was the one that made me go, all right, yeah, hell yeah, I'm in for this franchise. San Andreas was really fucking good as well. Probably a better story, but Vice City was the nail in the coffin to me of get every GTA game that comes out from this point. Man, that's crazy. 2003.
16 years ago, mate.
Oh, I feel old. When you think about it, like 16 years ago, it's questionable whether I should have been playing it or not.
As long as Mum doesn't know, you just turn it off when she comes in.
Here's the worst thing is my mum bought me the game.
Yeah, classic.
Go, Mum, you rock.
That's really funny. Yeah.
Only if only she knew that I was taking down drug cartels, you know.
Yeah.
I was a hero in my own right. But all right. I was gonna throw a little shout out to a new love. I put on my NES for the first time in a long time 2 days ago.
Nice.
And I'm hooked on Battletoads.
Yeah.
I'll admit, I'm hooked on Battletoads. I recorded a video for my channel, man, but I've been playing that off channel for about... Yeah. I put it on 2 days ago. Over the past 2 days, I think I've played it for at least 8 hours.
Yeah, man. That was a great game.
I'm hooked on Battletoads. I need a game to distract me from Battletoads. I'm even having dreams about freaking Battletoads. It's just... I need help. So, yeah, if you could think of a game that you could tell me that would be a nice one to play so I can stop thinking about toads in my dream, please let me know. And let me know in the comment section below. What games should I be playing? Yeah. Because...
I reckon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the platform one.
On the NES? Yeah. I've got the cartridge. Oh, no.
Yeah. That was a great game.
I'm trying to get my hands... trying to get my hands on Turtles in Time on the SNES as well.
Mm-hmm.
That was a damn good game. It's probably the best beat 'em up ever, but that cartridge is $150. Just for that. Mate,
the arcade. I love the arcade of that. It was bright and colourful. You could play 4-player. All the buttons that the arcade, it was angled around. It was like a half semicircle, sort of half, octagon sort of thing. So, Leonardo was on the far left and Donatello was on the far right. If you were one of those, you were sort of on an angle to the screen. It's only like Michelangelo and Raphael were in the middle or something like that.
Yeah.
It's funny how I remember that. It was Leonardo, Raphael, Michelangelo, Donatello. To remember how I remember that order. That's how often I used to play that fucking arcade game. It was great. Yeah. I loved it.
All right.
Brilliant game.
I'm going to count to 3. After 3, say your favourite Ninja Turtle. All right, let's see who we both got. All right? All right, ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, Raph.
Michelangelo.
Yeah, Raph for me, Mikey for you. Mikey, I think everyone leans towards Mikey because he was just like the cool dude.
Well, see, I started watching Ninja Turtles when I was like 3 or 4 because they came out and like they started as a comic in 1984, and then the television series was like came out in 1987 or 88 or something like that. So I started watching the Ninja Turtles on cartoon. I thought they were brilliant because I was right into because I loved martial arts ever since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
And the fact that they were like fighting and beating up bad guys and all that sort of stuff, I thought it was brilliant. And I liked Michelangelo because my name was Michael and his name was Michael. So
And he was the king of the nunchucks.
Yeah, exactly. He loved his nunchucks, which is the same as Bruce Lee. So he used nunchucks just like Bruce Lee did. His name was Michael, my name was Michelangelo, and I thought this is absolutely brilliant. And as a kid, when someone or something has your something on TV has the same name as you, you're like, whoa, when you're like 4 years old. So, yeah, Michelangelo by far.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, still to this day, everyone just loves Michelangelo. So, it's just classic.
Yeah, I liked, I think, as well, fun fact, I actually know how to use nunchucks myself. I've actually used them. I actually did a martial arts demonstration when I was 10 years old, and it was a weapons demonstration. It's 10-year-old me learning to use nunchucks, and what we did is we stuck glow sticks in these see-through nunchucks, and they were full of plastic, and they were heavy as fuck. And we turned all the lights out and did a demonstration completely in the dark, and we all did the different colors in them, so it was just like this freaking light show. There's one thing of using nunchucks, there's another thing of doing it in pitch black dark. Didn't
you put that up on your reaction?
I did.
It was like a reaction thing.
Yeah, reacts to me.
Yeah.
So I know how to use nunchucks. There you go. So, but no, I was a RAF guy.
Yes.
I don't know why. Mikey, when I was younger, but as I've gotten older, I think I'm more RAF because he seems to take everything. Like, he's like an emotional dude. He has like so many emotions, and he has that that inner mean streak that he could have, and I like that in him. Plus, he had some pretty cool daggers.
Well, the lore of it is that Raphael is extremely jealous of Leonardo because Splinter put Leonardo in charge.
Correct.
And Raph thinks that he should be in charge, but obviously Splinter knows that to win a fight you need to think.
He had the most to learn. But Mikey was the most kid-like. So when I was younger, I think that's why you adapted to Mikey, because he was the Joker, really.
Yeah.
But
yeah, exactly. There's that as well. I mean, it wasn't the whole cowbunga and skateboard and stuff. It was just the fact that he was nunchucks, Michelangelo, and he just said some funny stuff. So which is pretty funny. But so does Donatello. Donatello says some funny stuff as well.
Yeah,
But,
Donnie's definitely the one to watch though, because he's very underrated, Donnie. But
big time.
But it's funny because they're mutant turtles that live in the sewer, that like pizza, that are named after painters. I mean, who the hell was high? You know, who the hell was I? Right? Yeah. But, all right then. So to finish it off, this today in video game history. You ready for this one?
All right, do it.
2005.
Mm-hmm.
So 14 years ago.
Mm.
The Sony PlayStation 3 was revealed. Revealed. It didn't get released. It said this is coming in 2005. So it was going to be called the greatest supercomputer ever in computer entertainment, is what it was classed as. But they announced the PlayStation 3. So it's funny you say Vice City on the PS2 came out 2 years prior. 2 years after that, they announced the PlayStation 3. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So that's what happened today in video game history.
Very nice, mate. Very nice.
I think that sums up the podcast.
Beautiful, mate. So, mate, if it's all right with you, buddy, let's wrap it up, eh?
Let's wrap it up like a nice tight burrito.
Yeah, nice tight burrito with extra cheese and no salad, because I hate salad. Salad ruins everything. You don't win friends with salad. No. It's just
throw some extra onions in there and double meat, and then you're happy.
Don't forget the cheese.
Oh, obviously cheese.
Barbecue sauce, tomato sauce, or garlic aioli?
I'm a barbecue guy, although I do like garlic. But if I was to go meat, I think I would stick pork. I'd be a pork man, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I think a pork man.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, I'll eat anything, any meat that's put in front of me. So, hey.
Nice.
I'm not picky. But, yeah, I'll go pork. Go pork. Let's go pork. I want a fucking pork burrito now. It's like, fuck.
I don't even know what we're talking about this, but we're here now.
Wrap up this podcast, please.
Wrap it up like a burrito. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's how we got there. All right, that's how we got
it's your
there.
fault. Your fault.
Oh, I'm 110% responsible for that.
All right, guys. There you have it. You are all up to date right here on the JayNAS Podcast here tonight. So, guys, thanks very much for joining us. Don't forget, I will leave a link into Jason616's gaming channel, and of course, as usual, he will do the same for his for mine.
Of course, I'm a kind man.
Jason, absolutely, Jason, I appreciate you joining me tonight once again. Great to hear the side of Nintendo and Retro World all coming together. Exciting stuff. So, guys, as I said, as of now, you're all up to date with the latest PC, console, gaming, retro, and Nintendo news. We're looking forward to seeing you all next week for the latest updates as well. Take it easy and bye.
Catch you next time. I'm off to get a 10 p.m. burrito. All right, let's go.
All right, you do that. Bye.
Bye.